Grand Seiko has amassed a following that is hard to rival in the landscape of watch enthusiasm. Leading the charge in enabling this to happen, though, were proprietary approaches like the spring drive, you have Zaratsu polishing, and their visually entrancing dials that are unlike really anything else in their segment. As this rising fanfare began to catch its stride, there remained a smaller subset of models that were steady in their classical techniques while providing tremendous value in the process for those aspiring to own a piece from Japan's leading luxury brand. One of those watches that fits that mold is the SBGM221, a classic GMT with clean looks that, with its caliber and attention to detail finishes, is still one of, if not the best points of value in the entire Grand Seiko range. So the DNA of the SBGM221 looks back to the early roots of the company in the 1960s to inform its design, but from a modern standpoint, more directly can look at the SBGM021 released around 2010. Despite the recent surge in GMT watches on the market, Grand Seiko has been well established in their ability to produce beautiful looking takes on the complication type, now coming in high beat variations, spring drive models, and a range of 4Hz 9S66 powered watches. What furthers the distinction Grand Seiko has on the GMT is their lack of allegiance to a singular form. As where sports typically dominate the conversation, Grand Seiko equally pays attention to more refined takes, with it being represented exceptionally with the SBGM221, coming with impeccable finishing, versatile proportions, and an in-house mechanical GMT caliber on the inside. Starting with the latter of the points listed is the caliber, an attribute of this watch that probably gets the least amount of attention, but is a key aspect of its winning formula. As one of the entry points to the mechanical offerings from the brand, the inclusion of the 9S66 makes this for a unique proposition. Dating back over a decade, the 9S66 is not necessarily anything new. However, even today, it still holds up as arguably the best in its price segment for a GMT caliber. Getting into the basic specs, the 9S66 is a true or traveler GMT operating at 4Hz or 28,800 vibrations per hour, while having an extended power reserve of 3 days or 72 hours. In addition to the extended reserve, these calibers offer a coded accuracy standard of -3 to +5 seconds a day, tighter than COSC standard of -4 to +6, with this example running at -2 to +3 seconds a day when tested across 5 different positions. This caliber also benefits from Grand Seiko's MEMS manufacturing process, which stands for Micro Electric Mechanical Systems, in this instance being showcased most notably with the escapement parts that are skeletonized for the utmost efficiency in reducing weight. Further, the escapement wheel teeth are cut at a near microscopic level to have a small recessed point for increased lubricant retention, which is especially helpful with the constant friction hitting this crucial component. The finishing, which is thankfully on display beneath the sapphire exhibition case back, is well done. It features striping across the skeletonized rotor and the bridges. We have polished screw heads, some eye-catching exposed jewels, and some charming engraved text. In operation, the 9S66 winds in that first crown position, allows for independent adjustment of the local hour hand in the second position, which can be set forward and backward while being tied to the date, and then allows setting of the time at the farthest pulled out point while also enabling stop or hacking seconds. Set beneath the safety of a highly domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on the underside, the SBGM221's dial is an exercise of refinement, balance, and restraint, all set over this creamy ivory primary surface that has become a main draw to this piece's esteemed reputation. Starting at the outskirts, simple linear markings are printed in black that denote the minutes, excluded at the hour positions in favor of indices that are, as we've seen from Grand Seiko, executed to a phenomenal degree, being independently faceted in mirror finish and are manually applied to the dial. Just within, dark printing provides even hours for the 24-hour scale, with small arrow-shaped markings in between for odd hours. At center, a pair of razor-sharp hands provide local hour and minutes, with each serving up a central flat polished surface offset by slender facets at their edges. Just beneath, a tempered blue GMT hand works in tandem with the printed 24-hour scale, with a simple seconds hand rounding out the hand stack. At 12, we have the refined, applied, and polished Grand Seiko logo with the brand word mark just underneath, and automatic and GMT text further below at 6. And finally at 3, a framed and faceted date window reveals the straightforward date disc set below the dial. And before we get any further, I just do want to remind all of you that we are now a Grand Seiko authorized dealer. So if you're liking what you're seeing today, you can check out the link in the description to learn more, talk with one of our watch experts who can help you with any purchase that you're looking to make or have questions about this piece and any other Grand Seiko watch that we carry. This is big news. I don't know if everybody's aware of this, and I am so excited. I adore this brand, and I couldn't be happier to be offering them up on teddybaldassarre.com. Part of the versatility of this watch comes with its wear, with its diameter measuring at 39.5 millimeters, a 46.9 millimeter lug to lug, and a thickness of 13.7 millimeters. In totality, the watch wears true to size, if not slightly smaller, and despite its thickness being thinner than much of the competition when it comes to true GMT watches and having a heavily domed crystal, it's probably the only metric of its size that I could envision there being some pushback on. Set between 19 millimeter lugs, the 221 is equipped with a genuine alligator strap with glossy brown top and calfskin for its backing. You do have some light work here when it comes to breaking this one in because of the slight padding, but this strap should probably remain in your rotation, and I think you should definitely build out that rotation for different straps to pair with this piece because of its versatile aesthetics. Tapering to 16 millimeters, the strap terminates with a folding deployant clasp that integrates a traditional signed pin buckle. The case architecture is much more rounded and bulbous and curvaceous in terms of its approach, with the entire case uniquely getting Grand Seiko's distortion-free Zaratsu polishing technique that is administered by a trained artisan in their Shinshu watch studio. A signed 6mm crown with prominent ridges makes winding and setting very easy while pairing with the screw down and fixed case back and enabling this watch's 30 meters of water resistance, meaning this won't be one for aquatic activities and unfortunately will make this one slightly less versatile in the process. On top, a broad polished bezel softens the transition from the dome crystal to the central case with its rounded size and lug tops, topping off its well-done case architecture. So Grand Seiko has become very busy in the last few years, launching new models again and again. And while this is great for someone like me or collectors of this brand that get deeply excited about what they're going to do next and what can I go ahead and buy next, it can in turn create a maze to navigate among its many different models. And I don't know about you, but I am somebody that really researches heavily about every purchase I make. And that trait is kind of how I present the information on this channel. It really influences it. It's also important for me when I'm looking at a brand for the first time to keep this context because it allows me to look at those key themes that make the brand essentially special. But when trying to investigate a brand for the first time, a common tendency I notice is that people want to get down to it and ask, where should I even begin to research, and what is the best watch for me to start from this brand if I'm going to buy something? Now, given the subjectivity to watch collecting, that is almost an impossible question to answer, especially when it comes to a brand like Grand Seiko. Obviously, names like the SBGA211 Snowflake come to mind. You have the Four Seasons collection, the other interesting 9F quartz models and their GMTs, their SBGW 9S64 hand winding models, Omiwatari, you also have the white birch, and many others. Yet among the top of the list has to be this watch, which to some might come as a surprise. It doesn't house a spring drive, it isn't a high beat, the water resistance is only splash resistant, the case thickness is on the thicker side for a piece of this styling, and the dial is much more restrained than others from the brand. But why I think this watch is special is because it does uphold principles that have been a part of Grand Seiko's DNA for decades, and I think that's why it resonates. It comes by way of its dial purity, its layout, wearability, a class-leading caliber, and an ability to be appreciated through the gradual discovery rather than a blaring announcement when you wear this on the wrist. In many ways, it's a watch that gives you a perfect sampling of what Grand Seiko is all about. And I think that's a great concept for somebody that's looking at this brand for the first time. And it's all coming in a package that has been one of the best under $5,000 for several years. And even today, is still probably the case. But alright guys, that's my take on the SBGM221. This is one of those pieces that doesn't fit the traditional molds that I think so many people consider when they are drawn to Grand Seiko for the first time. But with all of that, it probably is one of the best first Grand Seiko watches you can aspire to own, in my opinion. And also, it's remained very similar in its pricing for years, which I hope remains the same, knock on wood, given all the craziness that has happened in recent years with luxury watch pricing. But what is your take on this watch? And if you own this watch, I'd love to hear your personal kind of story with it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Really would appreciate that. It does help out the channel. Also, definitely check out TeddyBaldassarre.com, full authorized dealer of over 30 brands, quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support, and a full factory warranty for all the products that we offer. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.